Good day, students. Welcome to Practical Research 1, Quarter 3, Module 6B, which is about strengths and weaknesses of qualitative research. Okay, in this module, you will learn the following competencies. So the learner describes strengths and weaknesses of qualitative research. Then our objectives in this module, you are expected to describe strengths of qualitative research and describe weakness of qualitative research. Let's have the introduction. Societal problems need immediate actions from people involved in it to solve them. To find solutions to these problems, they need to ask each other why and how these take place. Sharing their views, feelings, and norms toward those problems, they can generate relevant and common understanding of those and come up with better ideas to cope those individually and as a group. And this is the essence of qualitative research according to its purpose. Similarly, students like you can do qualitative study to solve your daily problems in school. This can help you find ways to better in your studies. You know that your strengths like your intelligence in different aspects, skills, talents, and good attitudes can help you achieve your goals as a student. You have also your weaknesses, but you can always change them into better ones through hard work and strong faith in yourself or by sticking to the things you can do and accept that those you really cannot do. Okay, let's have this activity. Activity 1, describe yourself. Examine yourself with your characteristic, then write those descriptions about you separating your strengths and weaknesses in the Venn diagram. Put your name in the center to emphasize yourself with those characteristics. Okay, so you can answer this exercise. So you have your name in the middle, your strength and your weakness. So it's very important to know your strength and weakness so it can help you, especially in the future, your aspirations in life. So if you know strength, so can go wherever you want to go because you have the courage and the perseverance to push, especially in this life, just full of trials. And also your weakness, knowing your weakness is also important so that you can situate yourself in the situations in which you are not capable of doing it. So by having that in mind, so you can ask the help of others to help you overcome your weakness and also in doing your job. Okay, so I hope you'll write your strength and weakness. Okay, let's have this analysis. Okay, how do your strengths help you become confident and productive in everything you do? Okay, so I think you know the answer that yourself, knowing your strength. And number 2, how do your weakness affect in achieving your daily goals? Okay, so I think most of you will answer. So it will hamper your aspirations in life. Okay, because having weakness seems like a big obstacle, especially in achieving something. Okay, so but that is not really the intention. Okay, so knowing your weakness, so it entails that you need to further enhance yourself. Okay, so especially in research, so you really need to continue to study, so do research to improve your paper. So that is the essence of doing a research. Okay, so if you have weakness, you need to strengthen it so that you can overcome this weakness. Okay, so I hope you know already in yourself what is your strength and your weakness. Okay, it's very important, especially in achieving your life's aspirations, your dreams. Okay, so knowing yourself is very important. Okay, let's study this. So let's have this our main lesson for this module. Strengths and weaknesses of qualitative research. So generally, TECO 2016, DepEd 2016, Maraceros 2016, and Roller 2017 describe qualitative research as subjective, contextualized, active, flexible, personal, narrative, inductive, neutral, holistic, and social constructivist. They also enumerate the following strengths and weaknesses to make the researcher aware of its limitations. Okay, so in every research, there is strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so I think you're familiar with this. Okay, number one, so the strength is detailed and in-depth. The issues in qualitative are in detail and in-depth. Qualitative study explores people's understanding, feelings, and behavior to a certain phenomenon, even their difficulties and sensitivity based from their experiences in their setting. Okay, so this is one of the strengths of the research. So it entails detailed and in-depth discussion of people's feelings. So your research question, so it can really answer it in detail because you really have to emphasize in your results why what are the experiences of people, especially if they have experienced something, example like during earthquakes and this COVID-19. So you can explain that in detail and in depth. Okay, unlike in quantitative research, so it's just more on numeric, so it cannot further explain those experiences of your participants. Okay. Number two, multiple methods for data gathering. The researcher can do field observation, survey, interview, and content analysis to gather the needed data for the study. Okay, so this is one of also the advantage. So you can have many ways to gather data. Okay, especially in your when you reach already in chapter 3, data gathering. So you have a lot of options as a researcher. Unlike in quantitative research, it's morely on survey. Okay, like doing questionnaires. Okay. Okay, let's go to number 3, flexible interviews. Interviews are not restricted to specific questions and can be redirected by the researcher in real time. So variables are not controllable, that makes questions open-ended and less directed. So researchers may prove so that clearer and accurate answers can be drawn from the participants. Okay, so this is very advantageous also when doing qualitative research because you will have open-ended questions and it is not very restricted to your research questions. Okay, so you can change it in real time. So depending upon the or the things that you will discover during your data gathering, especially when you have your participants' responses. Okay. Okay. Number 4, flexible design. So as a researcher begins his or her investigation, information may come up not suitable to the purpose of the study. It makes him or her revise the design of the study most suited to the purpose. Okay, so this one also the strength of qualitative research. So it's flexible. So sometimes when you do your study, so there are some circumstances that you might change some of your parts in research, especially your research design, that will suit to your current study. Okay, and number 5, specific data. Specific details on actions and events of the subjects on the phenomenon can produce more accurate inferences of their social interactions, relationships, and circumstances. Okay, so here, so from your interview, so you can generate specific responses of your participants. So how do they feel about this thing, okay, especially this pandemic? So you can ask their question and then that question. So you can have that accurate feedback from them. Okay. Okay. Number 6, self-involving to the researcher. Okay, the researcher studies their experiences, knowledge, norms, and attitudes on the topic before and during the conduct of study that makes him or her understand the data as he or she does the data analysis and interpretation. Okay, so doing qualitative research really is self-involving as a researcher because so you can really discover how do uh, participants behave or what is their reaction, their feelings during those circumstances they are going with. So it's very involving, okay, to the part. So you will have that experience when you have your data gathering, okay? You know you're very excited to do your research. Okay, let's now go to the weaknesses of qualitative research. Okay, number one, researcher skill dependent. Okay, so researcher quality is heavily dependent on the skill of the researcher. Results depend on the knowledge of the researcher to the topic and his or her efficiency and effectiveness in doing the study. Okay, so this is one also the weakness. So the result of your qualitative research really depends upon your skill. Okay, so especially in doing this research, so you need to be good, especially in articulating words or phrases, sentence. So in order to picture out or give a clear picture of the experiences of your participants. Okay, so you must improve this. So if you already know this is your weakness as a researcher, so find ways to overcome this or alleviate these circumstances. Okay, number two, rigorous process. Data are gathered, analyzed, and interpreted. A long process that needs suitable energy and concentration of the researcher. Okay, so this is also one of the weakness, especially when you're already transcribing the data during in your interview. So it's very rigorous because you need to find some meanings, the themes, in generating it. So it's really time. It's also uh, hard the part of the researcher, especially we are a neophyte researcher. Okay, number three, time consuming. It's open-ended questions yield qualitative data that need long-time data aggregation and inferences with their verbal and visual presentations. Okay, so it's the same in our number two. So it's time consuming because you really need to have a long data. You need to reflect as a researcher. So how you can visualize or give meanings, inferences to the statements given by the participants. Okay, so it takes a lot of time. Okay, number four, non-generalization. Data usually are collected from a few cases or individuals, so findings cannot be generalized to a larger population. Their validity may be questionable because of the small sample that is only applicable in their locality. Okay, this is also the weakness of qualitative research. So you cannot generalize the result of your study to your population because you only have small sample. So usually in qualitative research you can have one participant, two or seven depending upon your study. Unlike in quantitative research, so you can have plenty, hundreds, 500s. Okay, so depends upon your study. Okay. Okay, number five, less scientific. The views of the participants are only applicable in their locality and may be influenced by the whole population, both consciously and unconsciously. Moreover, scientific studies test theories opposite to qualitative researchers that they develop theories. Okay, so this is a weakness also. This is less scientific because it's only based on the experiences of few participants. Okay, so the experiences may not be true to other members of the population of your study. Okay, number six, researcher influence findings. Researchers' presence can affect the participants' attitude during data collection. They may change their responses to the questions. His or personal biases on the topic can possibly influence his or her interpretation of the data. Okay, so this is one also the weakness. So sometimes the researcher will be carried away by the findings of your study, so it may result to bias of the topic. Okay, so as a researcher, you really need to be professional and distance yourself, so avoid siding on the topic. Okay, so you must be neutral. Okay, so those are the weaknesses of the qualitative research. Okay, so let's have this activity. So identify the strengths and weaknesses. So match the strengths of qualitative research in table A to the items 1 to 4 in table B, and weaknesses of qualitative research in table A to the items 5 to 10 in table B. Write the letter of your answer on the space before the number. Okay, so this is table A. Table B, the strengths and weakness. So we have detail and in-depth, possible design, possible interviews, multiple methods for data gathering, and the weakness, research skill dependent, rigorous process, time consuming, non-generalization, less accepted in scientific community, researcher influence findings. Okay, let's answer. Okay, number one, the researcher interprets the subject's experiences, including the sensitive issues and challenges they face to understand their situation. Okay, what do you think is the answer? Okay, correct, it's letter A, detailed and in-depth. Okay, for number two, the researcher can ask follow-up questions to the participants to get substantial answers to the question. What do you think is the answer? Okay, correct, it's letter C, flexible interviews. Okay, number three, case study can have one participant only. Okay, the correct answer is letter B, flexible design. Okay, number four, the researcher does observation, interview, and content analysis to get the data. Okay, correct. It's letter D, multiple methods for data gathering. Okay, number five, researcher must maintain their health, energy, and focus in doing their qualitative research because data planning, collection, analysis, and interpretation need full concentration to produce substantial contents and to finish it within time frame. Okay, what do you think is the answer? Okay, the answer is letter F. It's a rigorous process. Okay, number six, the views of the participants are only applicable in their locality and not totally for universal use. Okay, what do you think is the answer in the weakness? I can find the answer here. Okay, correct. It's letter H, non-generalization. Okay, number six, the views of the participants are number seven. Qualitative study requires the researcher to categorize and code data collected for analysis and interpretation. Okay, what's the answer? Okay, the answer is letter E, researcher skill dependent. Okay, so letter E for number 8. Okay, number 9, the content of the study reflects the researcher's skill and own knowledge and perception to the topic. Okay, number 7. So, qualitative study requires researcher to categorize and code data collected for analysis and interpretation. Okay, what's the answer in these choices? Okay, correct answer is letter G, time consuming. Okay, number 8, the researcher excites the participants in the interview. Okay, what do you think is the answer? Okay, correct. It's letter J, researcher influence findings. Okay, number 9, the content of the study reflects the researcher's skill and own knowledge and perception to the topic. Okay, what do you think is the answer? Okay, correct. It's letter E. Researcher skill dependent. Okay, or number 10, last number. The sample of study is very small. It makes it validity questionable. Okay, what's the answer? Okay, it's correct. It's letter I. So less accepted in scientific community. Okay, so I hope you get the correct answers correctly. Okay, so let's remember this. Okay, the strengths of qualitative research are so detailed and in-depth, multiple methods for data gathering, flexible interviews, flexible design, specific data, and self-involving to the researcher. And the weakness, research skill dependent, rigorous process, honest interpretation are time consuming, non-generalizable, less accepted in scientific community, and research influence findings. Okay, so for your assessment, so I want you to answer this. So keywords, remember, qualitative research. So complete the table by filling in one word description in each of the strengths and weaknesses of qualitative research in the second table. Take numbers 1 and 2 for example. So example number 1, issues can be examined in depth and in detail and in depth. So here the answer is deep. So we crush out. Okay, so that you will not be confused. Okay, number 2, reviews are not restricted to specific questions and can be redirected by the researcher during the data collection. So it is open-ended. Okay. Okay, so I hope you get instruction on how to answer this. Okay, let's have number 3. Okay, the researcher framework and direction. A research framework and direction can be quickly revised as new information emerges in the process. Okay, what's the answer? Okay, correct. It is flexible. Okay, so I hope you get the correct answer. Number 3, flexible. Okay, number 4, the obtained data based on human experiences are powerful and sometimes more compelling than quantitative data. Okay, what do you think is the answer? Okay, correct. It is authentic. Okay, for authentic. Okay, next number 5. It offers multiple approaches and ways of acquiring and examining knowledge about phenomena. Okay, the correct answer is it is multitasking. Okay, then next number 6. Increases researcher interest in the study. Okay, that's answer number 6. Okay, correct answer is it's empathic. Okay, empathic for number 6. Okay, number 7. Its quality is heavily dependent on the skill and time management of researcher to efficiently and effectively finish the study. Okay, what do you think is the one word description? Okay, number 7. That's the answer. Okay, correct. It is research dependent for number 7. Okay, number 8. Rigor is more difficult to maintain, assess, and demonstrate to finish data gathering, analysis, interpretation, and evaluation. Okay, what do you think is the answer? Okay, correct. Answer here is laborious. Okay. Okay, number 9. The volume of data makes analysis and interpretation time consuming. Okay, what do you think is the answer? Okay, the answer is still laborious. Okay. Okay, number 10. Data usually are purposefully collected from a small sample that experience peak in their setting. Okay, what do you think is the answer based on these choices? Okay, the answer is for number 10 is limited. Okay. Okay, for 11. It is sometimes not as well understood and accepted research within the scientific community. Okay, what do you think is the answer? Okay, correct. It is non-scientific for number 11. Okay, for number 12, researcher presence can affect subjects' feelings and responses during data gathering. Okay, the correct answer is researcher influence. Okay, I hope you get all the correct answers and strengths and weaknesses of uh, qualitative research. Okay, so if you have questions and clarifications, so you can PM me in my Facebook account. Okay, so see you in our next discussion.